powerful harmony effect, my dude.
Alrighty, so we've got our match. We've got Tempest on the right.
Alright, we got our classic match. On one side, we got all the villains, and the other side, we got the main six.
This is true, actually.
And the main six side is using Tempest, which is not in flavor with their playmat. Please, please, please. What's the main on the other side?
It is a movie playmat, at least. That's slightly in flavor.
Alright, so
No, this is the.
I'm thinking that George has got Tempest pink-white control on the right.
Could be. I see trained
Because I
editions.
remember I played against it at BronyCon. Yeah, BronyCon.
That's a good
Alrighty. So we'll get a first preview of that deck, and let us see what Sean's got.
Pretty sick coin.
Judge? Just one.
That looks like Chrysalis Changeling Pretendant. There's a... Is that a Sclerate?
You don't mind I use this also too. Oh, yeah, of course. I think they'll probably have their own time to get that. I know, but it gives me an idea.
You're Chinese. Do you think Zhang is with an H or...
Z-H-A-N-G.
Alright, so I sorted these
Just
out.
doing the score updates.
Now I have to shuffle them again.
Oh, there's some pretty nice, what appear to be custom-made sleeves. Because I've never seen those before. I could be wrong. They look like ponies.
Alright, so what do
I
you...
tell it's glary.
Yeah, so seeing Chrysalis and Kevin there, and you said Sclerite as well, are you expecting some kind of changeling?
Is that a Kevin or a Sclerite? All the changelings look the same to me.
I believe that's a Kevin on top of his deck right now.
Alright. Not entirely sure.
For this deck, you should actually
When you see Chrysalis and Kevin, literally like two cards with no color that could be any color, that's the only thing you see.
It's like my main doesn't do anything to...
It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, it means
what is going to happen.
almost
Yeah.
literally nothing.
Just from a purely main standpoint, Chrysalis versus Tempest. Now, when Tempest flips, Chrysalis doesn't get any of Tempest's abilities because it's an on-flip thing.
I found that this deck
So all you get as Chrysalis is two colors.
typical aggro decks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so basically, unless you really, really need to flip, because you don't have any other entry, and which I don't think the Tempest Pink White has much of. So Tempest Pink White control kind of wants to flip ASAP, but there are some other decks with Tempest that can flip whenever they feel like it and will help lock Chrysalis down into only one color and one power for pretty much as long as they want.
Mm-hmm. That is always the logic and the sort of paradox that comes with...
Theme, and I don't know if it's
Oh, I
It's
see.
too clary.
which way it's oriented, but yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, didn't see left, but sure, Sketch is the player on the right.
Yeah.
Folks from Discord may know Sketch me. He's been an active participant, but yes.
Back.
So yeah, returning to what you were saying about Chrysalis, it's always seemingly the logic that you think to yourself, oh well, everyone always flips their mains over, I should be fine. But it certainly seems to me like every time I play it, I run into someone who finds a way to not flip their main over, and it sucks.
Yep, that's one of the weaknesses. Well, that's one of the weaknesses is if you run into a deck that doesn't need to flip ASAP. Alright, lacking less than times one side. Looks like George got, well, come on, change editions. Pretty standard. Looks like he's got a really sick opening hand.
Yeah, I see Mimics, Starlight, Paper Twy.
Starlight, Paper Twy, a Mimics, which he doesn't really need, but that's okay. Miss Main is not necessary this early in the game. Looks like a Luna's Future, and I want to say that last card is a belly flop.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. He's got a path. He's got a Troublemaker. He's got a path to his AT. He really doesn't have to flip his main with that hand. Did you see anything of Sean's hand before he mulliganed?
No, I did not.
Neither did I. Okay.
All right, looks like he's got a yellow. It could be white. Could be yellow aggro with changelings.
I think Changeling Synergy is the most common possibility at the moment. Thorax, Kevin, and he's opening with white, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, off the bat, I feel like Tempest is advantaged here.
Well, Sketch is going to take the flip.
Yep. With this deck, you kind of want to because you're practically locked up your other color in case you don't. But he could also just. Okay. He could just play wait a turn, play Starlight first. But playing Grubber is great because he has no idea what's in his deck.
Grubber to train visions, of course, because lacking lesson plans.
All right, what do you got here? That looks like 2 beavers.
Yeah, beavers. I see a herd. I'll tell that is that a Kevin, that colorless one?
Yeah, I believe so.
And is that maybe Friends Are Always There underneath? No, it's Tough Love or Turning Point.
Okay, so he's got a little bit of protection against Trollmakers. What kind of you have to. It's really hard for white yellow to get through otherwise. Riffle shuffles, yes. I have an explicit rule in my queue. You're not allowed to riffle shuffle my cards.
That would be pretty disrespectful. Alright, ditches the herd.
Nimbus something. Come on, move your hand. I want to see the second word.
Alright, that was another Thorax off the top for Sean. So clearly, from my experience playing this deck, if you want to score points, it's basically all about getting your Timble set up. Besides that, you're playing relatively standard aggro.
Might take a while for him, to get there.
Alrighty. Thorax down.
That's a lot of. Oh, he hit a nap cakes. Ooh.
So I didn't catch the colors, but presumably he's on purple and pink right now, right?
There's almost no other option with this deck.
So do you play the Mimics, even though that is... I guess probably not, because that's in lesson plans, right? Certainly looks like he's thinking about it, though.
I mean, you can't just because you just played to the other problem.
Yeah,
just what George is doing, because the Grubber doesn't really matter.
And given what he's...
you just rather have the +3 on what I presumed will be events.
Yeah, seems right. Although these, playing yellow, there's a fair amount of dilemmas in there as well.
Okay, that's a white Kevin. Alright, first score of the game. Fire Friendship.
Fine rarity. That could be useful.
Yeah, especially now he just binned Grubber. Just play a time rarity, get the Grubber back if you really want to. But you need the white to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just play the Starlight now.
Would make sense. Got the AT for it. Get that AT engine online.
This AT look like jelly bean. They're actually really hard to see over the playmat. It's too colorful. On the other side, we got pinky tokens, which is unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like it.
So that was a Timble off the top. Given that he's confronting lacking lesson plans, I assume he will get it out.
Attempt to play Timble.
Turning point.
Okay, he wants to go for double, I think. Double confront.
I will discard a 4x to take control of it.
Did he not?
Yeah, it gives plus
What
one
did he
power.
name for mimics?
I'm not sure. He might have forgotten.
First time I've actually had an opportunity to do that.
I'll rip him.
The mimics is now yes. Sounds good. And
Okay, so this is definitely a DFO attempt.
I wouldn't actually DFO at this point because having the +3 tax on events against your opponent, who has like half his hand as events, is really, really good.
That takes Timble. Makes sense.
Yeah, smart.
right. So score phase confront.
Still gets the 1. So it's 2-0.
Yep. 3 AT. Or should I say 5 for purple pink.
I have to remind you to do that because I'm not used to playing mimics. No worries.
Oh, isn't it nice when you have the power as aggro? You just like, you never get this feeling. Almost.
Did you catch which thing he named? Presumably events, right?
Fight mimics.
There's like, he has to.
Alright, he's gonna
There's
go.
no other really good option, I think.
3 on 6. He's not gonna win with that flip.
You don't need the temple. Don't need the temple.
But he was trying to clear away the Timble first and foremost, so still okay for him.
Wonder why he decided to just, okay. It's got like, what, 4 AT? 5 available?
Yeah. He has no path to white still.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you decided to play Twilight to not the problem with his Troublemaker in it. It might be like a... Okay, he's going for...
Going for the face-off. Okay. He wants to get rid of lacking lesson plans, which makes sense.
You've got 6 to my you win, I believe.
He had a Chaos effect.
Chaos. Put this card, you may put a resource from your discard pile into your hand. Oh, wow.
Ouch. He has that herd in his discard pile. But in any event, still a win for Tempest.
I had one more because before I was lost. And exhaust has to get an action.
It's like, even game.
Okay.
Yep. Is that a high and low, I think? It came off?
I think that's a paralyzed.
Oh, paralyzed. Yeah, there you go.
No taking is a little over the top. In a kind of a high stakes tournament, as a tier 3 tournament like Continentals, note taking is kind of the recommended thing to do. In casual or whatever, of course it's not necessary, although it's good practice. Whenever we're doing practice, for example, against Tempest, whenever they see my hand, I just reveal my hand for the rest of the game, or the cards that they know. But in tournaments of this level, note-taking is recommended.
Yeah, down top, draw a card.
This time Sketch elects to hang on to the fire. He's looking to get his white into play, I assume, for that Twilight and Rarity. Meanwhile, George...
attacking his hand.
Yeah, George is in a pretty... Like, if he can stand behind that Mimics, given the way the Changeling deck wants to run, that's actually a pretty good position for him.
It's Sean's Mimics.
My
At
apologies.
this point, I believe. So, it's going to cost him.
I'll play the control game and get one point a turn. Yeah, I should have probably called events, considering I had the knowledge from Prepper, but...
There we go, you didn't call events. I guess because he saw the herd, he might have been scared of resources and mentioned resources instead.
Yeah, that could be. Well, it looks like he's going to try to play aggro-ish, or, well, at least score some points. keep things
This
even.
guy, he has to stay afloat. Or he wants to stay afloat, at least. Is it recognized as exceptional for gameplay at this level? Note taking. I would say it's recommended. Just because it takes like time to write everything down, anything less is like not entirely worth the effort.
I believe that was a cracking the case that just got drawn for George, or Sean rather.
Nice to hold on. Well, it doesn't really matter right now. Some crazy thing just happened in the background.
Simple confront. Not gonna like that barrel, obviously. Ooh, Selena.
Alright, there we go. First judge call. Not over here, though. Repping the Domino's hat.
Yeah, Princess Mask is awesome in this deck.
Alright, well, we're gonna see that grubber happen anyway.
Grubber. Seven. Ah.
Oh, cracking.
Not much new information gleaned.
Yeah.
I got it back.
Cracking the case, probably? You get rid of? The only thing you're really afraid of.
You could hit another herd.
You could usually do it over there, but I'd say...
Either or, cracking the case or herd. The other two cards are practically blanks.
Yeah, probably don't need that.
Alright. He's more afraid of his opponent drawing into Timble, I suppose, which makes sense.
Very well with Timble. Yeah, so if you don't... I don't think you
That Selena seems like a good play, yep. Gives him a little bit of certainty when he, well, with his face-offs, and also that Eccentric's really useful on the problem that Sean is confronting.
Brainstorming with Selena Blue.
Getting rid of Luna's future makes sense. Or at least, well, not getting rid of. Stashing it away for later.
I would just put anything that... So what's going on right now is kind of thinking about whether or not there will be a face-off that might happen. So you might want to flip high.
Well, how did he just play Twilight and Rarity?
How did he just play Twilight and Rarity?
Can I do an immediate before that?
Should...
In reaction to the troublemaker coming into play. Reaction to the troublemaker coming into play? Yes. So actually,
yeah. Make sure you ping GP on that.
Because like this comes into play like first, and then that resolves. Okay. Stuff like that. So, but that was in play at home, right? That was in play at home. Yeah. Probably caught the thing that we were just talking about, stuff like that. So. Well, this is a win.
Where is your white entry for Twilight Sparkle and Rarity?
You are correct.
What have you
Got him!
so far?
Only the grubber thing. You are correct.
Have you revealed your hand yet to process grubber?
Yes.
You have. Okay. How much information did he have about
Well,
We're gonna work through this.
Yeah, so this is the second time he's played Grubber,
Game warning.
I think like this turn, so like his hand is entirely already public knowledge.
just a warning? Not a warning.
So,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to just...
no major harm, no foul, because he does have that. So,
Sorry. Can't believe I made
it's at least, you know, it's good that he has the AT to fix that.
So this is Selena.
So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter too much. There we go. Now he got that.
Alright, and we're back to where we were.
Yes. Never mind. Right, because I would play this, so then that process is...
No, I was gonna say, it's like if I got rid of the Fire of Friendship, you'd still have white. Still the end of turn, right?
Ah, yes. Sean does have those beavers in hand,
So you do
but he's considering whether or not, and he's going to ditch the white.
play that, right?
I did.
So that didn't happen.
All right, all right.
That's in the discard.
That's still in the discard.
There we
If
go.
that happened, but new information happened. I apologize for that, sir. So that means...
Okay, and now we're back to normal.
Moment, no, because I would...
Now Sketch is a
You should have
little...
that one AT, or you should have that AT back for playing Twilight Rarity and for the yeah, that's it. He played the fire, got blown up.
Yep.
I think I'll just go to my...
Beavers chewing out the fire friendship.
and exhaust for...
Alright, just gonna confront the 4.
Sorry about that.
And he is gonna be...
Yep.
I think that's another Princess
Despite
Mask.
everything, he is still in the lead.
Troublemaker phase. I am not challenging Rubber.
Are they not tied? I have them as tied.
Is he? I can't tell. Okay.
Princess Max.
I'm just like actually just going straight up on what I see from the start scorecards.
It's tough to tell on Sean's,
Go to score phase.
but I believe they're tied.
Confront here.
This is where I re-add glossy sleeves.
Your turn.
There's one things here, and... what's he got? Five? Reaction tokens.
But there's also Thorax on my discard, so.
There's also Thorax.
So this is 3 plus 4 makes 7.
7? So that's 7. Just gonna simply draw that because there's main phase, red, some blue, 1, 2,
Now that could be interesting. He does have
That was
a...
arrested. That was arrested pieces.
Yeah. He does...
Could hit stuff.
Mhm. Actually, with 2 Princess Max on the field now, it's not terrible at all.
Events.
events.
You know, in the background, that could be We Will Rock You.
It sounded
Oh,
like
it's
it.
probably not.
Okay, so I'm going to spend...
Yeah, there's a lot of glare on his side. Part of it is the lighting. Part of it is the sleeves. That Sonata is going to be annoying, like really annoying.
then...
Mhm.
But I think that's like, regardless, I think that's 6 power on Sean's side on his problem.
retire this card to steal this until the end of the turn.
Does he have a belly flop in hand?
I'm pretty sure he has had one since the start of the game.
Action token.
He's going to eat the tax,
Paying
Okay.
so much. Yep.
but that was a super impactful play.
Yeah, just wiped his board. No need for the rest in pieces.
No.
That looked fine.
I'll just go to my score phase, confront, unless you have a response.
I do not.
Okay, confronts the 5.
Alright, let's see if there's anything we can do about the glare.
You are at 5 now?
Yes.
3, 2.
Yeah, fight like that was Sonata plus floor cost belly flop, so 5 AT and a card for 4 cards on his opponent's side.
Pretty good.
Kinda worth. Now imagine if there wasn't a tax on the belly flop.
That's starting to sound scary.
Yeah,
Alright.
kind of disgusting.
3 AT.
Right, Sonata works really well with any kind of deck that wants, that, you know, has your opponent just sit there at a problem.
So it's 4 power right now.
Alright. Pharynx doubles when he enters play, sitting at 4 right now, so that's enough to confront.
That has eccentric though.
It does.
Oh, right.
And I don't want to go.
I've just made the same mistake Sean did.
What?
Guess I'll spend 2 minutes.
Forgetting about Selena's eccentric.
Thorax symbiosis. Give 2 power to him.
There we go.
+2 power on myself.
See, it's like, why does she need so much text?
6. Good to go. 10 should get around your attention.
I think so.
Now we're looking
All right. Get over there.
Score a point. You'll be gaining 418.
Alrighty.
6.
Yep, confronts the 6. So we're into 480 tier.
George is back, practically been in 4AT tier like the entire game. Look at that. That's like what? He's got 8AT right now. Do like practically anything he wants.
May I see these cards?
Sure.
Alrighty. So,
Currently I have
yeah,
4 power.
Pharynx, I believe, is whenever you play a changeling, he doubles, and Thorax is like whenever you play a changeling, he gives someone +2. I'm pretty sure.
This is only when it just play.
By the way, did Sketch just Selena draw 3 and put 1 back on top of his deck?
I think that was the start of his turn.
Okay. Well, we'll see this time.
All right, 2 Selenas. Now you're rolling into the cards.
Yeah, he definitely just kept 2 of the cards he Selena'd.
Did you just only put 1 back?
Yes.
No. No, there's a game of buckball going on in the background.
Yes.
How many cards did you just put back this season?
1. I played 2. So I had 2 Selenas, so I like did this and then drew, and then
Your instructions are
Please do not shortcut that. Those must be processed individually. Okay? So draw 3, put 2 back, then activate the second symbol, draw 3, put 2.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah, the first one was because it was the start of his game. Start of the turn, so he
Oh,
just
okay.
draws 1 off of that.
I see.
Second
Alright.
one is he draws 3, puts back 2. Just draw another 1. Yeah, there are some things that you can shortcut in kind of more casual gameplay that you're not really supposed to in, what is this, tier 3?
This is as big as it gets, yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that you kind of have to go through the motions.
Alright, so the way things are going. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that was us.
I'm currently unsure about how many cards I kind of manipulated or saved them blue. I just want to make sure I got the correct game. I just want to make sure I got the correct game save. How many? Does anyone?
They understood the shortcut of what was going on, but just be careful not to do that in the future.
Not
As
to.
far as they can count, the processing of all of that was correct.
Okay.
Okay. So we're good. But yes.
That was your move.
What do you think of how this game is going right now? You think Sketch is doing well, or?
Oh, bad now.
Do I think Tempest is doing well? Tempest is kind of a little stuck because there's a Mimics pointed at him,
Oh wow.
so he's not as controlling as it could be.
5 minutes.
Okay. Reaction.
The key here is that the score is still close.
Yeah, I think that's
Looks like he's playing bait and switch to get rid of that Mimics, probably.
That would be a good idea.
Replace this problem here. So this goes home.
Back is
He's got his pink secured, so he doesn't care about transitions anymore. Free to replace that with a more control-oriented problem, in theory. Yeah, that works.
Okay, so it starts to disappear. Game 2.
Interesting that he decided to just bomb and play a bait and switch over there instead of at the other problem.
infantry, but you got pink already.
Yeah, it seems like it would probably be a better play.
Currently, right now.
Could be a reason. Well, there's a misfire.
That Mimics.
Bodyguards.
Mm-hmm.
I think I go to my score phase.
He's just gonna let it pass. Makes sense.
I do not.
Yeah, he's still got attacks.
An action token, discard, play
He should have a plenty of discards. Alright. Okay, grabber, fair enough.
Okay, not anymore.
Okay, 4 AT. Draw a card.
So this board state looks a lot better for Tempest.
Yeah, no, it does. Or actually, it kind of always has been. It's just it needs to get a little bit, maybe take a turn or two to really get things rolling. Once you have the Salinos, you can start digging like 4 or 5 deep.
Spend 1 to draw.
I believe that is Timble I just saw off the top. For Sean?
Yeah, but George still has the AT to play another nap kicks if he needs to. So he needs to get the Timble over 3.
I'll just bank that because I can't score with it this turn, so might as well just wait. Okay, and X.
So there's a lot of things to juggle on Tempest's side.
Ridiculous. That card top. Draw a card for turn. Main phase. Cover.
That's 8 AT. Jeez.
Card. Draw.
So the Mimic's tax is gone. Which kind of like lets the reins, you know, loose.
Yep. Presumably, that Mimics is nice. He's going to appreciate having one of those in play.
So this is the deck.
Look at that. Look at all that choice.
Huh? This is the deck that you helped tune up.
Oh, cool.
Put those 2 on top.
Actually, you helped tune up both of the decks I had that was debating over it.
Okay, then hello again, friend.
Oh, found his Glimmer, why not? Or AT.
Spend 1 action token. Play Troublemaker pair. I'm going to spend 2 action tokens to play Discord Party Crasher. Banish one of my other friends.
Alright.
Until this card leaves play.
Now he's got a bait and switch on a string, as long as Discord's still there.
I mean, you can retire him at immediate speed, so he'll come back literally whenever he wants.
Okay, I'm just going to go to my sport phase, attempt to confront.
Okay.
Front.
With that, I believe George takes his first lead of the game, going to 7 points to Sean's 6.
Okay, there's about 5.5 minutes remaining in the round.
Start with Glimmer, False Counselor, here.
So definitely still close enough for Sean to make something happen.
He's gonna need some kind of Troublemaker Buster like right now, though.
He does still have the Crack in the Case in his hand, doesn't he? Of course, Sketch knows that and will name events, but he does have it.
So Sean needs to get in like right now.
I think I'll respond by playing Napkins.
Okay.
Napcase the Thorax makes
Peace
sense. Or Pharynx, rather.
Chrysalis over here.
Chrysalis, sure.
2 AT. Play another Pharynx, who doubles in power. And for 1 AT, play a Timber, which doubles Pharynx.
Ah, okay.
Alright, so the nap cakes was a bait.
Darn it. Oh, stupid. And that's all I can do at this moment.
Yeah, that giant problem on the other side is kind of not the best for him.
Well, that seems like it was probably a key turn.
Yeah, so Sean mentioned is like, oh man, that was kind of stupid of me. There's a lot of things that you could think about when going on. But probably what's going on is I think he would know. He feels like he knows that's a Mimics and would like to save the 180 to crack it so he doesn't have to pay 4 for it next turn.
Meanwhile, if you're a Tempest player, you essentially just want to, I believe you want to hang on to as much disruption and interference as you can right now.
Yep, that's just the name of the game.
You're ahead, time's running out. Just gotta prevent your opponent from scoring points.
Yep. Yeah, that's really bad for, so now it's really bad for this deck. Like, it just kind of like wants to sit there and blast points. Yeah, it sounds like Sean realizes that he may have stretched himself a little thin there, forgot about the Troublemaker. That's okay, we always do that, but it's important not to. It doesn't really matter in this case, but it really you should try not to. Okay, now he's got a lot of things on strings.
Goes to score phase.
Okay.
Ninja fire friendship into uneven ground.
Yeah, so big problem here is if he wants to crack the case, that's his entire turn.
Spend 1 to play cracking the case and banish that trouble.
That is 4.
Oh wait,
Or
is
did
that not a Changeling Mimics?
it is a Mimics? Did George forget his trigger?
I'm gonna spend
That is entirely possible.
Pharynx. His power's doubled coming into play. And his power's doubled with his Pharynx coming into play. So they're both full.
So I didn't manage to hear what the Changeling Mimics mentioned, but
Ooh, that glare is very serious now. We're gonna have to do something about this between.
Somebody just turned the lights up.
Anyway, the immediate bait and
Right,
switch.
move away from the sun. Move away from the sun, all you ponies.
Fashion blindness. Character's hero power equal to or less than your printed power cannot contribute faces. However,
Okay, confirmation we are going to see about getting this table shaded in between the rounds.
this doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Skylight must just. It's approaching high noon.
Alrighty, how much AT is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm like 13, 12, something in there. Either way, it's too much.
Yeah, just make sure Changeling Mimics is a made trigger, so if you forget the trigger, too bad.
Okay, slight hiccup.
Is what I want to say. I'm not sure. I believe that's how it works. You may choose Event Resource or Troublemaker.
Those 2 cards are top.
Okay, we had some slight hiccups on the stream there. Believe we're doing okay
That
though.
was time just called.
Alright, time right now.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember who went first?
Well, they're just mentioning it right now. George went first. He started the game with Flip.
That's right.
So what was key to this game was George being able to stop the Timbles from ever doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
He hit his 2 miss mains.
Yep. He's just going to miss main out of range now.
Yeah.
Grab a miss main, get a point from that. You don't want a card. And actually, did it again.
I mean, how much AT does he have? Like 6, 9?
Oh, that's right. He did need to fix his white wreck there.
Hang on.
Yeah. I don't see any.
This time he caught himself.
Alright, cool.
So I'll put this back.
All right, Control got their finisher.
Other missile lane that gets retired due to weakness violation.
How many points is he up?
That brings him to 10, so he's up by 4. And he's got enough for 2 more miss mains.
It's just, yeah, the miss mains are just a way for Control to actually finish a game. Just put you out of reach. Like quickly, not slowly, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you see any disruption of anything on George's hand?
He's got a Beavers, and I didn't see what the other card was, but...
On George's side?
Oh, George? Oh, sorry, my apologies. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't... Yeah, no belly flops, no nap cakes.
Well, he's out of 18 now, it looks like. He's just got one Sonata sitting there, so... Sean is gonna need, like, 4 Timbles.
Timble? I mean, he could have Bunny up in his deck, too. That would be possibly even better.
Yeah, he needs a way to get around Sonata. Plus, like, 3 more extra point scorers to, like, force a tie.
Mm-hmm. He's 6 points back, so... It's tough.
That's actually, yeah, maybe a little too much.
He has 6 AT to work with. Events are taxed. Well, that Mimics is still in play, so something is taxed, presumably.
Alright, he's stealing something. Yeah, steal Timble.
2 AT. Being pushed. 2 AT. Timber.
Wait, I believe your stream is a couple of seconds ahead of mine, because I just got to him streaming Timble.
Okay, yeah, that might be possible. Cause he had heard of Adoring Fans. What I might have considered was to heard of Adoring Fans Timble first before it gets stolen.
I am therefore going to spend 2 AT, play Herd of Adoring Fans on Pharynx, with a token copy of Pharynx in play right here.
Alright, good game. Tempest, George, wins.
Mm-hmm.
His power doubles when he comes into play.
Yeah, stuffing the Timbles every time they came down was kind of the key here.
I would like to go to score phase.
No responses.
There's the match slip.
Front.
Right on time as well.
That's it.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to quickly refresh on my side to hopefully get us synced up again.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, so I think there's like 3 different times in which the